What's up guys, GamerBite checking in, and I've got a little tutorial for you today. Basically, this is just a setup video of how to get videos from your game to your computer to YouTube in high quality. Now, I'm no savant on content or what kind of videos you should make. In fact, my YouTube channel really doesn't have all that much content in the way of quality. You know, I've got 40 or so videos up. I don't remember right now how many I have, but you know, some of them are amusing, but you know, for the most part, they're not really something that would attract a whole lot of people to my channel, and that's fine. I'm just uploading videos to have fun. But this is more of a informational video for people who really want to produce some really good quality content, and to get that quality content out. Now, the two programs that I use are Dxtory and Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, if you're recording console gameplay, forget about the Dxtory part of this because it doesn't apply to you. If you're like me and you game on the PC, Dxtory is a program that is very similar to Fraps and PlayClaw. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's got more features, and I think that those features are worth it. Now, you'll pay about $45 for Dxtory if you don't torrent it. So it's really worth the investment, and I love this program. So I'm going to quickly flip through the settings that I have on Dxtory, so that you guys might also get these settings set to you know, just so you don't dive in and not know what everything is. Basically, I'm going to skip over most of these because it's all personal preference. This is the video settings area, and this is the important area. What you got here is your codecs. Don't choose any codecs but the Dxtory codec. It is the best quality, unless you're uploading something that you really want to look like crap. Just stick with the Dxtory video codec. I reduced down to medium quality. Now, I found that medium quality is still very good quality, but in a little bit smaller file size. So it's kind of a balance between how big do you want the file that you're recording to be, and how you know, what's your standard for quality. So for me, this medium quality really works well. Don't ever compress if you can absolutely help it. Compression will lower your quality significantly. Your file size will be probably about a sixth of a size, but so will your quality, and that really hits your quality hard. You can, you know, select different ones in here and experiment and see which one works best for you. But for me, medium quality seems to be good enough. The other setting I've got, I record 60 frames per second just because that gives me a little bit more leeway with editing, and you know, it bolsters the quality. Again, the file size is going to be a little bit bigger. YouTube only displays in 30 frames per second, so I lose about half those frames, but I like the quality that I get out of it regardless. Size-wise, I only record in 720p. Now, this normally will be a percentage, which is, you know, just 100%. I do an actual pixel size so that I know exactly what my output is going to be, or my input is. So I record in 720p. I don't go up to 1080p because I don't find a lot of people on YouTube actually watch 1080p. They usually, if they're bumping up, they'll bump up to 720p, and they won't go much past that. So 720p really works out, and it's still a very high, very good quality. Audio wise, you can add multiple channels in Dxtory. So I've got one that's just my speakers, all the system sounds, the game sounds, everything. You know, TeamSpeak, all that is going to go into this channel. The second channel is my my mic, and right now I've got it set on a digital output for some reason. Let's change that to my microphone, so it's actually a microphone. And you can mess with your audio settings. You can record your mic a little bit quieter if you get a lot of static or something, you know. I just leave it at 100%, and I just leave all this default down here. There's no reason to really change any of this. It's not going to adjust your audio quality at all, unless you are actually recording some, you know, music or singing or, you know, that kind of thing. You want to bump up that quality then. But if you're doing that, you really should be using a actual audio program that's built for that kind of thing, and a good mic, obviously. Screenshots, I don't change anything in. I didn't change anything in here. Why in God's name would you want to limit your video FPS? It just doesn't make sense. Left this all default, and that's Dxtory. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a video here, and I've got High Command open because I was playing some tribes earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a folder to get a video out, and I'll be right back. Alright, so what I've got here is a folder that's where I save my Dxtory videos to. And you can see I've got a bunch of Battlefield 3 clips in here, and I've got a Modern Warfare 3 clip. Now, we'll go ahead and use this Modern Warfare 3 clip. So, you know, you're going to load it up. Now, I recorded this using Dxtory. So, it's a, I got it muted, good. It's a 44-10 or so match that I recorded playing some domination. I had a lot of fun doing it. So, I want to go ahead and put this into a video and upload it to YouTube. So, the first thing we're going to do is close that and open up Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, the first choke point that I hit, you know, the Dxtory stuff was all pretty simple. The Dxtory, the recording it and getting that all to work and saving the folders and everything, that was really pretty simple. You know, I messed with some of the other codecs, just trial and error. The other codecs are really terrible, so I wouldn't suggest using them. If you use PlayClaw, use PlayClaw's codecs. It's the best codecs that PlayClaw offers in its program. So, you know, just little things like that. So we're going to get in, we're going to say new project here in Adobe Premiere Pro, and let's just name this the tutorial. So this is the tutorial. The first screen here, there's not really anything that you want to change. I just go ahead and leave that all default. Now this first page here, the second page I guess, this is where you're going to set your sequence settings. So the name down here is what the video is going to be rendered out as. So this is the video name. And that can be anything you want. It can be George's tutorial, or it can be, you know, funny Battlefield 3 clip or whatever. That's what the video is going to save as. Now you can change this later on when you're actually outputting the video, but I like to set it here so it makes it easy. And it's also going to be the name displayed in your sequence when you're editing it. Now, you'll notice here I've got 720p 60 FPS selected. Now, this is where I hit my first choke point, because when I inloaded the videos, now remember in Dxtory I was rendering out in 720p. So right here I want to select a 720p setting. Now you might say, well, what if I want to render out in 1080i or 1080p? You know, wouldn't I want to select one of these? And the answer is simply no. The video that you have recorded is 720p or is 480p or whatever you set that to record at. That is what you want your input here to match. You want this the selection here to match what your input is. If I can stumble over myself and say this, the problem that I ran into is the default was up here. It was like this widescreen one, I believe, and the widescreen here is 480, you know, 480v or 480p, whatever. And I just thought, yeah, it's the default, it's probably the best, I'll just leave it alone. And it really screwed me up. And I'll explain that a little bit later. But when we go over here, we're going to select this 720p and just say OK. So we got 720p, it's setting up our work environment. And this is the default editing work environment, so I haven't changed anything. And what we want to do is go down here and grab this Modern Warfare 3 clip and drop it in here. So now we got it here. We're going to drop it down into the video 1 setting, and for some reason it's dropping my audio into 5, which is, you know, not a big deal. So now that we've got it in here, you notice that it fills this editing frame up completely. If we select the video, we can see that the edges of the video are right at the edges of the frame, which is perfect. That is exactly what you want. The thing that you don't want to do is ever try to scale this in or out to fit your frame. If you're scaling this out, you can see it there, you're losing quality. If you're pushing it in, you're losing quality. What you want is to leave it right there. So you don't ever want to change that frame if you can help. Now, if we go ahead and make a new sequence here with File New Sequence, Now say we had selected that NTSC widescreen normal thing, and this is the don't use sequence. So we can see our original sequence here, the video name, and don't use is our new sequence. If we drop that same video in here, look at how the window is filled. And what I would do is I would have that and I'd go, oh, I need to fit this to my video. So I'd, you know, go down here to like 10% or whatever, and I'd grab the, I wouldn't do that. I would grab it there and I'd shrink it down, and I'd jump down here and I'd say fit, and then I'd, you know, expand it out. So hey, now it fits. But look at the difference in quality between this and this. It's kind of hard to see maybe with the software that I'm recording with, but the difference between those two in quality is significant. Now the same problem would happen if I went to 1080p. So let's go ahead and say new sequence, and fail is the name of the sequence, because we're going to go ahead and come down here and say 1080p and say okay, and we're going to drop the same video in here, and well, it's not big enough, so let's just expand this out, and ta-da, we're in 1080p. But again, the same problem is the quality between the three, it just doesn't match up. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this frame. Oh, or not. Fail. Okay. This is a good time to go over what happens if you screw up your editing space. Right up here is your current workspaces, and if you go up here and say reset current workspace, ta-da, everything comes back into to fruition. So I need to open up my video name sequence. There we go, and we're back in business. So the next thing that you need to do is, you know, do any of your editing. You want to, you know, clip this down to the beginning of the actual game there. So I, you know, start it with just a 2-second countdown there, and then you can slide your thing over, and then, you know, maybe you want to put a lens flare here, or, you know, you have whatever you want to do. You can add titles and things and screens, and that's all photo or Adobe Premiere Pro kind of tutorial stuff that I'm not going to go over. But you can really do quite a few cool things in here, and you can export this out into Adobe After Effects, and you can add some really cool stuff in After Effects and then bring it back in, and, you know, there's all kinds of cool things that you can do. But the next part of getting that good quality, you know, is maybe you're ready to render this out. Everything's saved. You know, we can go ahead and save our project with Control S, and we're going to go ahead and then export. Now, when you export media, one of the things that happens is if you have multiple frames, multiple sequences open, whichever one you have selected is the one that's going to render. If you don't have any selected, it won't actually give you the option to export because you don't have a sequence selected. So we're going to go ahead and select our good one, our video name, and we'll go ahead and export media. Now this page here, again, we're going to have all kinds of funky settings and things. So what you kind of want to look at is your output. It's going to default to your source, and I mean, you could crop your source if you wanted to, but you know, your output's going to look crazy. So you just turn that off, and when you are cropping, you can, you know, change some things in here, which is just put a black border around it, or, you know, fit it to the frame basically. The next thing is your output codec. So there's quite a few codecs in here, and I would encourage you to kind of experiment with them. The one that you're going to really want to use, though, is the H.264. Now you say, Andrew, why aren't we using the H.264 Blu-ray? And that is because that's for Blu-ray CDs. So if you were going to put this on a Blu-ray CD, that'd be great. But what happens with the Blu-ray is it'll actually output like 3 or 4 files, which when put onto a disc, a Blu-ray player will read and then combine them all together to give you the beautiful output on your screen. For uploading to YouTube or, you know, viewing in any kind of a media player, you don't want to do this because it splits those files up, and then you can get either audio or video, and then, you know, it's just garbage. MPEG-4 is a similar codec to the H.264. I found personally the H.264 gives me the best quality possible. So the preset, we're just going to go ahead and say 720p 30 frames per second. Really, this it's almost 30 frames per second, I guess, but this is what your YouTube video is going to play at, is 30 frames per second, so it might as well be what we render it at. Down here, we're rendering in 720p, obviously, so I leave it on NTSC. You might want to render at maximum depth. Now, rendering at maximum depth, like it says there, improves the render quality, but it's going to take significantly longer for you to render this video out. And if that's something that you want to do, then that's something you want to do, and you don't mind that extra time. Maybe you're going to dinner, or you're gonna hop in the bathtub for an hour or two, then go ahead and render it that way, and you'll get a little bit more quality out of it. I don't have it selected right now because I want to render it a little bit faster, but maybe if I'm going out of the house for a bit, I'll check that and just get that extra squeeze of quality out of there. So I leave all this kind of the same. My widescreen is the aspect of my screen, so I want to render out the same way I recorded the video. And yeah, so bitrate settings, I leave them, and I just leave all this pretty much alone because there's no real reason to change it. Multiplexer, that's what I got there. I haven't changed anything there. If you want to make your video blurry, then just render it at lower quality. Audio, I leave it pretty much the same. There's no real reason to change anything in here because it's going to sound great. And FTP, if you want to upload it to an FTP as you render it, then you can do that, but that's if you want. Down here I've got the use maximum render quality. You can preview it if you want. I don't need it. You can blend your frames if you need to, but I don't think that I ever need to. So you can either export it immediately, or you can queue it up to export this along with other videos. So you can export maybe 4 or 5 videos at once and leave for the day. Maybe go get up early in the morning and hit queue, and then leave it for the day while you're at work, whatever. So, once you export, it's going to go ahead and give you an estimate on how long it's going to take. Now, this is using an i7-950. This will take me 6 minutes to record this, and that's with no, effects or anything. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that actually now because I don't need to export just this video. But basically, that is a quick tutorial on how to get through all this stuff. I hope that it helps you out. I ran into so many roadblocks and bumps and bruises, trying to get high quality videos out, and I finally found the formula that works, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you would like to share this around with your friends, give it a like, give it a favorite. I don't often ask for those kind of things, but I feel like this video is kind of the quality that I want to start getting out on my channel, where I can actually help people out, and I don't know, maybe this is the only one I'll ever do, and maybe I'll do more, but I really hope that this helps you guys get started, get uploading, and maybe you can send me some of your videos and I'll take a look at them, and I'll give you a like and a favorite. How's that? How about a box for box, sub for sub, dual com? Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys all have a great day. GamerBite checking out.